Alrighty, hello everyone, and welcome back to Game Day Squad's Aussie Rules live show. What we're doing here is we're going to preview round 16. Unfortunately, there is no footy tonight, but that won't stop us from having a look at the matchups, our squads, and trying to help you all get game day ready and smash the competitions like Cal has over the past 3 weeks. So, you ready to go?
I reckon I might be one of the top scoring coaches over the last few weeks in the classic competition.
It's about time you pulled your finger out, honestly.
It is. No one will notice because I'm so far down the leaderboard. But if you have been following along, I have been getting clapped over the first start of the season. But I'm 3-0 against you in the last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And
it just took me going to the other side of the world to do it.
It did. And I'm keen to keep it rolling. And I'm feeling good about this week. I've actually put some stuff together. I know we're doing something a little bit different here with the shows.
Yep.
Not just that we are together, but I'm pretty excited. I think I've got some good analysis this week. Hopefully, everyone listening and following along believes so too. Hopefully, I can help you out building your squad for this weekend. And although there's no footy tonight, I think it does make it a little bit easier because there's no stress. There's an extra night to prepare.
Yeah, exactly.
And I needed that this week. So.
Nah, it's good. It's good, mate. Well, I'll tell you what. We are going to go game by game. We're going to do some analysis. We're going to tell you why you should and should not be starting some players. We've put in some extra work this round. So definitely let us know in the comments if you're liking it. If you have any questions along the way, of course, feel free. But we'll assign a good 5 to 10 minutes at the end as well. So if you just want to hold them until then and then we can answer them individually, you do your thing, whatever floats your boat. But I reckon we just rip in, Cal. It's time to start talking about round 16. We're here because of Game Day Squad. If you're not sure, check it up, sign up, get on the link. We're going to get straight into game one. This is going to be the Brisbane Lions, who are smoking hot right now, taking on the Melbourne Demons, who have been very, very disappointing. So just so you all know, on the left, you're going to see the players that we have playing in this game each, and you're also going to see the tier of player as well. So we'll put in the exact card. This is for our classic squad. Cal, not the same players, funnily enough, and you have loaded up on salary cap for one.
Yeah, Maxi Gawn, he's the best ruck in the competition. I think you can play him against anyone, and he's going to go huge. He has been in fantastic form, and I know he's up against the Big O, and the Big O's had his career game against Port Adelaide.
3 goals.
3 goals, absolutely dominant. Looked like,
Oh, absurd.
So, yeah, I don't think that's happening again. So I am going Maxi Gawn Platinum. I would be surprised if most people don't roll out Gawn this week. But, yeah, I'm going big on him. I'm more surprised down the other end. So we've obviously got Zorko. I think that's a slam dunk. He's averaging an absolute monster at the moment as well. So he'd be in everyone else's squad. Talk me through Rivers. You are a believer of the Petrarca spot opening up.
Mm-hmm.
Start there. I reckon that's the best place because that's probably the biggest question mark coming in. Does Rivers continue?
Yeah, exactly. Look, definitely a bit of a risk play. I just had a look at some of the other players. Like I know Wangani Miller is back this round. To be honest with you, like we'll get into it later, I didn't like some of the normal players I would play and consider. Like Jack Sinclair, I have some question marks around his impact. But yeah, Rivers, if he's got that role, if he's going to play in the midfield, I think it's high disposals. I think it's a shot worth taking. Now, he is my D7. Like he is my bench defensive spot. Not that it matters, like everyone scores. But I sort of how I set my squad is I go in order, from 1 to 7, and he was my 7th pick. So I think it's a bit of a pot option. I don't know how many people are going to be rolling with Rivers, but I'm really liking the upside. And if he does play well, I want to be on the end of starting him in my squad.
I'm amazed you had him at 7 because I actually found my list was getting down to like 8 or 9. I didn't want to cull people, but I had to, and he wasn't even in that 8 or 9 for me. So we're on different sides of what we think Rivers is going to be doing. What I want to call out there on the right-hand side, we've got how many points have been scored against each team across the whole season. So what that's basically telling you is Melbourne actually concede. They're the 4th most points given up. The Lions, on the other hand, are the 16th. So that's actually a really tough matchup. So even if you do think Rivers is going to step up into that role, I'm still a little bit hesitant of putting anyone up against the Lions, particularly at the Gabba.
Yeah.
Now, on the flip side of that, Melbourne's actually been quite easy for midfielders, and it's because Petrarca, even when he was
Track's out, Oliver's playing off.
Well, even before when they took Track wasn't informed this year, and Oliver, I don't know if anyone has seen him. I haven't even seen his cards in our platform. Maybe he's just been removed. He's just gone completely missing from all things.
Yeah.
But I do love, and I did want to get one of the boys in, and I think Dunkley's been in some awesome form. And I think he's the pick of the midfielders from the Lions. I wanted to get one of them in. That's why I've gone that option. And yeah, 122 points he's averaging over the last 5 rounds.
Yeah.
So he is in some good form.
I feel like Dunkley's like that player that he doesn't excel at anything, but he does everything. He does a little bit of everything. He just fills up the stat sheet, couple tackles, kicks, handballs, just plays a really clean game in the midfield. And then, of course, leads to some pretty solid scores. So as a floor, I do like Dunkley. I looked elsewhere this round. Of course, you can see there, no dunks. But yeah, some of the other options, I guess you could run. Lockie Neal's in some career form at the moment, at least for this season. I don't know about career. He's had a pretty fantastic career.
I was going to say, I don't know if we go career. He's 111 over the past 5 rounds. I want to talk about someone that's almost averaging as high as him over the last little bit. And neither of us have gone him. And I'll be honest, I still might change my mind before tomorrow night. And that is, of course, Big Joey Danaher.
Some form.
Now, I see not what Stephen May's Lever's back in. Lever's back in. So they've got the 2 boys to throw at them.
It's a 2-headed snake. 2-headed monster.
Yeah, so I'm not completely sure that I love that as a matchup.
Yeah,
but
neither.
I could actually see. I think, and not just because they absolutely trounced. What's the word? Trounced. Smashed my Port Adelaide team on the weekend. I think they're actually.
I don't know what you were going for there.
I don't know. Try and have a guess of what I was going for there, because I don't even know. I actually reckon that Lions are back in some form, and I could actually see them beating Demons by 60, 70 points, and that's another.
They are back in form, that's for sure.
Yeah, so he could kick 5 more. Trounced. That's the word. I knew it. Thank you, Auntie Booger.
Auntie Booger's on it.
So, yeah, I don't know if there's anyone else you want to talk about there. Do you want to try and make the case for the Big O continuing his form?
No, absolutely not. Nah, I think Rucks, there's some really good matchups this week. It's not with the Big O, though.
No.
I'm liking the other end of it. Maxi gone. I like that you've loaded up. Big play, but could pay some big dividends.
I don't know it'll ever be the Big O, unless he goes deep in the finals and you kind of have to play him. So
yeah. So let's go game 2. I reckon we summed that up pretty well. We're going to do that for every single one. I am loading up in this game. You are not, as I would say.
No, we've got the same players here. So I don't know where you want to start. Start with those 2, and then you can tell me why you think Treloar and Dale make the best score. Particularly, I know there's been some question marks over Bond. I'm sure we'll touch on him. Let's start with Sheasel. I think he's absolutely set and forget at the moment. He is still the player to play.
I do have some question marks, though. More time in the midfield. He's going up against one of the hardest midfields to score in terms of fantasy. The doggies do put up a pretty good fight when it comes to the mids. He has been hitting the scoreboard recently. I think that's what's been helping Sheasel. He's starting to get dangerous in front of the sticks. But I'll tell you what, he's still in there. He's too good to not be in there.
Yeah, you say the Dogs, they've got some good players. They've got some good fantasy scoring players, but that probably shouldn't. I don't know if you confuse that with their fantasy output where they stop. So they're actually middle of the line. So they're 8th hardest. So you can still score on them, but they're not good. They're not great. On the flip side, though, I can see why you've gone Treloar and why everyone is so interested in Bont this week.
Yes.
It's because no one scores more
points
against the midfielders.
North midfielders. So they're just the way the game is played. It's really fast paced. It's lots of transition. Bailey Dale, I think, is going to excel in a game like that, which is why I have him in my defense this round. I've regretted a lot this season not putting Dale in my squad more. So I'm hoping that this is going to be one of those times he gets up the ground a little bit more, gets involved. But Treloar, I think he could be in for a monster day. I do think it's going to be either one of Treloar or Bont. I know there's some illness issues at the moment or some worries with Bontempelli. But if you can pick that right, I think it's going to help you get started with a bang, especially after the second game. So one of them will explode. I'm hoping, for my sake, it's Treloar, not Bont. But Bont's so dangerous in front of goals. I can just already envision him kicking 3 goals inside the forward 50 or 4 goals and then just having one of those games.
I've got no data to back this up, but I actually think Bont plays better against good teams. Bont's that good. I don't think he's a flat track bully. So
fair enough.
So I could be wrong. Jaden, if you're out there, feel free to pull up the numbers on that. people going up between Treloar and Bont, just so you're across it. Treloar 127 over the last little bit, last few rounds, and Bont 125. So they're very close. You've got the question mark over Bont's back. If you're in a position where you're looking for the overall seasonal finish, I don't know why you'd be leaning the Bont side. Yep. If you're trying to look for a bit of a pod because you think everyone's going to be scared onto the Treloar side like yourself, I can see it. But obviously, I think that there's some better pastures out there, and I'm keen to go through them. Do you want to talk about Fisher?
Fisher, just solid role, man. Still got that back line role, at least at the moment. He's just getting plenty of disposals. He's essentially just filled in for like Sheasel in what was the Sheasel role. And when you're getting that type of ball use and you're going to continually get the, pill in your hands, that's exactly what I'm looking for. So Fisher, look, he hasn't had the best past couple of weeks, but look, his 5-game average is still at 104 as a forward this year. You're taking that. And I think this matchup, a little bit of a bounce back for him. I'm thinking more like 115, 120, which would be fantastic as a forward.
You'd take
so
that.
I'm taking that 100%.
For sure. I just want to talk also about probably what's not on the screen, and that is the 2 ruckmen in this game. And more specifically, your boy.
English. Yeah, I know. This is a massive L for English game. I'm losing points, bro. If I didn't play English this year, I reckon I could be top 10.
I try to warn you. I told you Marshall was the way to go.
Marshall's not. It's gone. I'll give you gone. And you did say gone was the number 1, right? So
and Marshall, I'm not giving Marshall number 2, and Marshall is also number 2. But yeah, he's not there. Tristan Sherry as a pod option. Do you see? Is this the game where you play the pod in the ruck? I know you said because everyone's going to be going Gawn and Marshall. Are you trying to pick one of them here? Because you're looking there for the Dogs, right? So the Dogs are actually the hardest to score against. So
I don't know. I don't like Cherry as a pod. If you're going to play a pod, I would go maybe a little bit outrageous, and we'll get into that later. It's in another game. There's a good matchup. But for me, I think played a bit safer. I wouldn't be going Cherry. You're going up against Tim English, and although Tim English hasn't had the best year, he will half that contest, and he will somewhat nullify his fantastic form he's been in. So for me, steer clear of this one when it comes to rucks.
Fair enough. That's all I want to talk about with them.
It's all the players. Ready to move on?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Game 3. The Swannies. Here we go. And I might start it off with someone that I don't have on my side. I'm a little bit upset.
Yeah.
I'm worried about Luke Ryan. 2 back-to-back weeks, 80 points. Looks like he's starting to get some attention from teams. Teams are sick and tired of the real Slim Shady just kicking it out for transitioning the footy. I'm nervous.
Yeah. Is it Chapman? The Freo guy that's sort of come back in over the last few weeks. He's been playing quite well, looking into like taking some of those chippies out the back. But I think for Luke Ryan, I think the ball's going to be down there a lot.
So the upside is there though. Like, don't get me wrong.
And we're talking about being scared by Luke Ryan, but he's 128 over his last 5 rounds.
I know.
So I don't really think that as a player, he's still been in great form. What I'm nervous about though, it's not that you guys, he gets a lot of points from kick-ins. We're looking at the numbers there before. He is a kick-in merchant. So hopefully the Swans are hitting the scoreboard, and hopefully
some behinds.
A lot of behinds would be really good if you're playing Luke Ryan. So for me in this case. But the thing is, Sydney are actually the hardest down back to score against. Is it down back or up forward? I'm getting my numbers mixed up here. One of the tougher matchups for defenders. So I know we've spoken about playing Clark, Young, and Ryan in some weeks. This isn't the week to do it.
Yeah.
I think you're picking one. And if you want to go against Ryan, I don't even know if I'd be picking one of the other ones against the Swans.
Yeah, like Clark, could he have like someone like James Jordan go on him, play a bit more of like a defensive forward role? What's Ryan going to do? And then like Young's spending so much time in the midfield, and Swans midfield is just like damaging. They just do not leak points. So that's going to be a really tough day in the office for Young. Like, he's so good in other weeks, but I'm just looking at this round in particular and looking at this matchup with the Swans, and I personally not playing any of the Freo big 3 down back.
Yeah, and also not down back, but also in the middle. And
True.
I think we've not gone so wrong.
No Sarong.
And after last week, who went huge, Andy Brayshaw.
But can you just do like one? All right, let's bring this up. Who's now got faith back in Andy Brayshaw? Are we back on? Andy was just so good over the past couple of years. I think people are disappointed with how he's been. So what are we feeling? Is Andy B back? Was this just a one-off showing he's still got a bit left in the tank, but Sarong takes over again? What's this situation?
Yeah, he's going 116 over the last 5 rounds. So compare that to Sarong's 125, and that's off the back of a huge game last week as well. I don't know. I know we're good friends and partners with Heifer over at the Keeper League. I know he's currently, when you see all his videos, he used to have Andy Brayshaw up behind him.
Yep.
Got replaced with some of our logos, which we love. But I don't know. Until we see Andy Brayshaw back on Hef's wall, I'm not sure I'm ready to officially announce that he's back.
Okay. I read it. And just by the way, let us know, is the audio okay? I assume it's okay. No one said anything as of now, but just make sure it's clear. You can hear us okay. We are in the same room, so we're doing it a little bit differently. But yeah, just let us know in the comments if there's anything wrong. We will fix it right up. But let's get into the players we are playing.
All right. Yep. We can go there. Talk about Goulden. He's your boy.
Yeah. He's the best player in the entire competition right now.
Is he?
He is.
Is he?
He is.
I don't know.
He truly is. Right now, if you're looking at form, he is like the best player in the competition.
In fantasy.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
But he also in real life.
That's where I think I was like, yeah.
He is that good. He honestly, if he started the year a little bit better, he would be favorite for the Brownlow right now.
So he's averaging 137.
Over 5 though, right?
No, that's his
average.
average.
That's season average.
Yeah, that's his season average. Yeah, he's on.
Yummy.
And he missed out to Bont last year. He didn't claim our highest scoring player.
Yeah.
By like what, half a point?
It was pretty close.
It was very close.
Yeah.
He wants it this year.
He does.
You've obviously got your All-Star, an All-Star you're playing. Obviously, we just spoke about you having a Tim English one that you have sitting, burning a hole on your bench there.
Getting cobwebs. Yeah.
But yeah, I've gone the Goulden. So I clearly believe in him. If I had a higher Goulden, I'd actually be playing a higher Goulden. But I just don't have a higher Goulden. So that's my case.
Tough to get him.
And right? I think Heaney, he's really good. I reckon he's better than Goulden at the moment. I'm surprised you didn't want to go down that path. But yeah, I would imagine the only people not playing Heaney are people looking for a huge pod. And that's dangerous because Heaney's been in some incredible form all season. So
yeah, Heaney's been spot on. And then so you can't not play him in the forward line, just way too much upside. Goulden, I got my Swans eye patch on, but I just think he's way too good to not play. And if anyone's not playing them in their best 6 midfielders this week, then thank you. I feel like I've got the one up already. So you bloody beauty. Let's talk about one other player though. Forwards can be hard to pick. But Taylor Adams is finally sort of come into his own with the Swans. He had the injury woes straight away when he got started. Things were a bit rough for him, but it just looks like he's finally starting to find his role. He's getting a little bit of midfield time, but he's starting to crack those 100-point games. So I know both of us don't have Taylor Adams. I'd like to hear for everyone that's watching right now. I'll be rolling a Taylor Adams in our forward lines this round, but could that be a play against Freo?
Freo, I don't know, just because they do like to play their defensive game plan and hold up so much time by kicking it around the back to our defenders.
Yep.
But what's so good up there is Hurts down the other end. I don't know. He has been in great form. He's gone 122 and 101 in his last 2 games.
Nice.
So you probably take that. It's 110. I think what we say, you're looking for about 115 from forwards on average to try and be competitive in the Classic before multipliers.
I don't think any forwards averaging 115 right now.
115? 110?
Other than Flanders.
You know what? Maybe that's just my squad at the moment because they've been so hot recently. Just a reminder, I'm 3-0 over the last 3 weeks.
Over the last 3 weeks. But before that.
Doesn't matter.
1-14?
Yeah. I don't know if I'd be looking
12?
for Adams as the pod, the matchup. I'd actually be looking at someone like Warner.
He's a midfielder. It's a bit tougher.
I know. But I can make the case for someone wanting to make that pod over because I think Warner, I'm just loving him at the moment. He's been in some awesome form.
Yeah.
Obviously, how many Swans players do you want to fit into your squad? You can do a lot.
Can I ask this question? Can multiple players win the Brownlow? Because if they could, I reckon Warner, Heaney, and Goulden could all be in for the 3-headed monster this year.
Yeah, there's been a few 3-way ties before.
Nice.
Yeah.
All Swans players, well.
Yeah, I mean, You technically can, yeah. There's only so many only so many votes to go around in a single game.
Yeah.
But I'd love to see it. I'd be all for it if you saw Goulden. Who's the other one? Goulden, Warner, and
this could be
Heaney.
the Battle of Chad as well, by the way.
The Battle of Chad.
Well, like Freo have made it very clear they want Chad Warner.
They're not getting Chad Warner.
I hope not.
They're not getting Chad Warner.
He's a man in high demand right now.
Yeah.
I will say that. Gosh, he wants some of that form. But I reckon we've summed this game up pretty well.
Brody Grundy, would you think about playing him as a pod? We've spoken about where's the pod ruckman. Is this the game?
It's tough, though. You're going up against Sean Darcy and Luke Jackson. So you've got a nice little double rotation in there. In saying that, Luke Jackson's definitely stepped down significantly from the start of the year. Now, presumed.
Not quite Clayton Oliver step down level, but
No.
he's that trajectory.
Yeah, he's heading that way.
Yeah.
Clayton Oliver has had the biggest fall off of fantasy history. It's just, we thought Brayshaw was having an average year by his standards. My goodness. Clayton Oliver was the highest scoring fantasy player for a good portion of last year before he was injured.
Yeah, I know someone
on average.
I know someone with a prize card, Clayton Oliver.
Maybe spewing.
They are spewing. They are spewing. They definitely missed out on selling on that one at the right time. But Grundy obviously coming off 131 last week.
Look, I think you can lock him in for about 115. But I do think it's going to be a tough day. I wouldn't be looking at him thinking he's going to have that explosion of a game like that 140, 150 we've seen from him.
Yeah.
So I'd play with caution, but definitely is a startable ruck. Don't get me wrong. It's Brody Grundy.
It's Brody Grundy. He's pretty good.
Yeah.
He's pretty good.
Let's go, man. Game 4. We've got the Suns versus the Pies. Old Kerm. How do you reckon Kerm's Suns way up in this one?
Well, they're at home, so they'll win.
True.
Yeah.
They like playing at home.
They love playing at home.
Is it Metricons? Coming a fortress up on the Goldie.
People's First Bank.
People's First. Sorry, it's changed.
I was going to say, we live on the Gold Coast. We work right next to it. You'd think you'd know the name.
Haven't been one time.
Well,
could be soon.
Port's here in a few weeks.
Yeah,
if you're
some tickets.
If you're at the Port Suns game and you want to see me cry, yeah.
Or if you want to laugh with me at Callum, then feel free to join.
I'm going to try and bring in some signs. I'm going to see if they'll let me bring them in.
What, I love you, Ken Hingley?
Yes, close. Nice. Very close.
Love it. Let's talk about this game, though. So you don't have to be all depresso, espresso talking about your Port Power. But 3 players from me. I've gone bit of a salary cap bump here. You can see that. A lot of bronzes. I've gone triple silvers. Flanders, set and forget. Dacos, set and forget. And Noah Anderson, bit of a pod in my opinion, but I did have some issues. I don't know if it's issues. It could be me just overthinking. But that last mid spot for me, there was a couple of contenders like Dunkley, like even Bont. I was thinking, do I double stack on the doggies mids? I was a bit confused to go. I'm going Noah Anderson. Collingwood are quite nice to play in the midfield. They're not the best in the league in terms of giving up points, but they definitely don't tag. They're going to let the midfielders run, and hopefully Noah Anderson can dominate in terms of clearances and get his hands on the footy. So that's sort of my thought process with this one. I want to ask you a direct question, though. You've got 2 of the hottest players in the competition, 2 of the best. I know you have a tier higher than a bronze Nick Dacos.
I got a platinum.
What's going on?
Remember, I bought it for $10.
Yeah. Why are we not loading Nick Dacos, Flanders, both bronze? Is this intentional? Talk me through this thought process.
Yeah, it's more who I put the cap on for the other guys. So it's less about everyone who plays GDS knows it's, hey, you might have one, what you want to do in a perfect world.
Yeah.
In a perfect world, I'd probably move a few things around. For example, I have to play a silver Houston because I don't have a bronze Houston.
Okay, gotcha.
If you have a bronze Houston spare, please hit me up. I'll be in the Discord all night.
No.
Still searching for one.
He's a scumbag. Don't do it.
Still searching for one. So that's what I'd like to do. And I'd probably put him, Dacos would probably be the silver up. Or to be honest,
so you would upgrade Dacos before Flanders? Which is I don't blame you, by the way. It's Dacos.
And again, it comes down to a little bit of what I'm looking for at the moment, what you're looking for. So even though I'm 3-0 in the last few weeks, and again, like I said, maybe the hottest informed classic coach at the moment. But again, you can't notice because I'm so far down the leaderboard.
He's up, bro. I think I see Slam Dunkley's returns up from first place every week.
Okay, one of the hottest at the moment.
Okay, I'll give you that.
I'm not going for seasonal stuff. So I still want a solid squad, but I'm going to be trying a few pods here and there. And I know people are going big on your Flanders, big on your Gould, and I don't want to miss out on them.
Yeah.
But I do need to stray away a little bit from it as well.
Fair
so
enough.
I've got a few players where I've played platinums in the midfield. They eat up a lot of my salary.
Yeah.
But I'm still playing Flanders. It'd be awesome if he played the whole game in the midfield. Imagine that, playing Flanders in the midfield. He actually eats. Took them way too long against Freo
to work that one out.
But yeah, Dacos, I'm playing him. I do have a platinum, but I'll save that. I'll probably deploy that in the Challenger competition or maybe our champion competition. So don't worry, he's definitely not going to waste.
Well, with Nakos, I guess it is Nakos, but Nick Dacos, some reinforcements coming back in the midfield for Collingwood this week.
Degoe's back.
Degoe and, of course, Pendles, the captain, the man.
If it was 10 years ago, maybe.
No, but he's going to spend some time. I'm not saying he's going to impact.
I feel like last time I said that it was to Bailey Dale, and then he went 160 that night. So
now he's starting in my squad.
So start Pendles this week.
But so yeah, look, there's the cavalry's coming back. So does Nick Dacos spend more time playing defense, maybe off the halfback role? Does he get back into his more like natural position? I think he's just as damaging off both. So I'm not concerned whether it's like midfield time, defense, whatever. They're going to get the ball in his hands, and he's going to have a good game.
Yeah, fair. What about some of those other midfielders from the Suns? Did Matty Rao, Tuke Miller
Tuke Miller's coming off a quiet 150 or something from last week.
Yeah.
Just by the way. Just a casual Took.
Do you like that? Because again, Collingwood, they don't exactly stop midfielders.
Well, that's why that's the sort of the thought process with Noah Anderson.
Yeah.
And the thing that will really help Noah Anderson get from like an average midfielder in this round to one of the better ones is if he can be damaging on the scoreboard. If he can kick a goal or two, which he has a knack for doing in games like this, if Noah can just be accurate in front of goal, then I'll tell you what, I think he can have one of those games where he's creeping into about the 130, 140. But I think it's going to be dependent on that. Be damaging in front of the scoreboard and dominate the midfield as well.
Yep, fair. I'm going to keep asking this until you actually give me a proper pod for someone else. Is it Jared Witt's week? Is he the ruck to play as a pod? Probably not. They don't do well against Collingwood, as you can see there.
No.
Still looking for that pod.
I'll give you the pod, but not this pod.
All right, keep going.
Good.
Keep moving. Yep. No one else wants to speak.
Game 5.
Ooh,
let's go. The Crows, Giants. You've only got one player in this game.
Yeah, and I don't feel great about it, mainly because let's start with Lachie Whitfield. Let's go there. That's the one I want to talk about. They don't do well, defenders against the Crows.
Yeah,
and I've got a pretty tight back 7 this week, and Whitfield was the first name I've left off, and I don't feel good about it. And you know why I don't feel good about it? I don't have it up in front of me here now, but his average over the last 5 rounds has been incredible.
122.
There you go. It's right in front of me. 122. So it's definitely not a him thing.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a matchup thing. And I've gone a few others as well. And I think Lachie Whitfield's going to be in a lot of squads just to start with. So a little bit of a pod, but I don't feel great about it.
Okay. Bit of a pod for leaving him out. Is that what you mean?
With the reverse of the pod.
Reverse of the pod. A dop.
A dop.
Jordan Dawson, bronze. Is that intentional again, or is this just the way the team's been structured this round? Because obviously I'm in the all-star category here as well.
Yeah. Just like your all-star English. I do. If I would be putting salary, I wouldn't be putting it on Jordan Dawson. I'm a very top-heavy with a salary cap.
You actually didn't think he was a top 6 midfielder, though. So, you got to take it with a grain of salt.
I didn't, and I might be wrong. But it's still a long season to go. We also thought Tom Powell was on like a lock for the All-Star squad. Remember that? That's
we'll pump the brakes.
Shout out Tom Powell. Is anyone still rocking Tom Powell?
We're not comparing Tom Powell to Jordan Dawson.
I could give it a go.
No, we're not doing this.
Right.
Oh goodness.
If anyone else in the comments wants to make the case for comparing them, I would love to hear it. We've got some packs to give away at the end.
Yeah.
So that's maybe your entry into it. And can I just say, I don't know if anyone was watching our Queensland versus New South Wales stream last night. I'm guessing not a lot because we're Aussie rules here.
Yep.
They packed a legend. Our first live legend wasn't on our show, and we've been doing this for what, a year and a half now?
We've been trying to deliver the goods for that long, and these for not having a nice word, but individuals snaked it from us.
They did.
They snaked it from us. What the hell was that?
And they kept all the packs for themselves too. We at least try and give them away.
Oh.
So, yeah, anyway, we'll try.
Look, I'll be honest with you. If I ever do pull my first legend, I don't think I'll give it away.
Depends. You might have already get on the keep and give and whatnot. But Finn McGuinness, he's back. He reckons Tom Powell going to eat this week with Wardlaw out. Yeah, there you go. There's the case for
Could be a
it.
shout.
And Finn McGuinness knows about eating.
He does.
He's back. I think Finn McGuinness, you said, was back this week. So
he is.
Welcome back, Finn. Good luck. Good luck this week.
Finn's getting ready to
getting ready to tag.
Getting ready to tag, getting ready to dominate. But look.
Talk to me about Rankin, because I haven't gone him and he didn't cross my mind. I'll be honest.
I don't know if I want to convince you to go Rankin, but I will convince the others that are watching to go Rankin. I just think, Crouch out for the season. He was having a really, really good year as well at that. So there's a massive, massive void in the midfield, and you've got like Saligo there. But I think Rankin's one of those players that has the flair. They're going to want him to attend some CBAs, get some clearances. And look, Rankin hasn't exactly been healthy, but he's finally back. He played in the last round. I think the Crows played. So this would be, he's had his little introduction. I think he's coming into this one healthy, and he's going to be someone that I'm going to want to play in my forward line. So I'm banking on some extra midfield minutes. And, of course, we know what Rankin's like in front of goals as well. I think this should be a really good game, Crows and Giants. Both of these teams are going to want to get a win. Their seasons haven't quite started exactly how they imagined. Giants, I think, are doing a little bit better than the Crows, though, in that regard. But both of them want to come out of this one with a win. It's going to be really competitive. And I think Isaac Rankin's going to be a bit of an X factor. So that's why I'm looking for him.
Most informed forward going to the game as well from this game.
From this game.
So if you're going to pick a forward, he is the one, but he still didn't cross my mind. Tom Green.
I was literally about to say it. No one's got Tom Green. Look, he's finally had that game, that game that we've been waiting for where
he looked like Tom Green.
Time.
Because that is someone I think everyone thought was going to be a slam dunk for the
All-Star selection
squad.
This year.
He's not getting an All-Star card. Did he get one last year?
He did.
He did?
Yeah, 100%.
He's not getting one this year.
He had a great year last year.
Yeah, you're right. He did. My bad.
Loves a hand pass, though. Goodness.
Maybe if I played him, I would have remembered it and I would have done a lot better than I did. But does love a hand pass. But he, definitely had a bounce back. Laird played pretty good. He's been okay. But again, I don't think you're playing these guys over. It's not the matchup for it. So I don't think you'd be going that way. But I can see why someone with a nice Tom Green, particularly in some of the, let's say you got a diamond Tom Green, that'd be nice. But I'd imagine someone would be rolling that across the other competitions. But I don't know if you'd be sort of looking that way in the Classic.
Yeah, very high risk. Not sure if it's going to be worth the reward, whatever the reward is. But yeah, like Tommy Green, definitely disappointing. Surprised not more people have been starting him. But at the same time, I'm not, because I understand why. Like he's just not in good form. It's the bottom line.
Fair. Do you want to talk about Mitchell Hinge, your favourite?
My guy, the Swans fan. He's actually a Swans fan, I found out.
Well, you try to convince him.
At Gather Round. I think he was about it. He just gave me that look where he was like, the nod of approval.
He gave me the look like, is this guy serious?
Since that moment, we haven't lost a game.
Yeah. You haven't.
Serious. Because remember the week before, we lost to Richmond.
This isn't a Swans podcast. Move it on.
Okay, well, sorry your team isn't good, my team. I like to talk about my team. Yeah, Matty Hinge, massive pod, let's be honest. But he's taking a lot of kick-ins. He definitely has a role within the Adelaide defence. If you think it's going to be a high-scoring game, potentially a lot of points, then you could roll with Hinge, maybe a bit like Big Pod. But personally, there's just a lot of other defenders who have really great matchups this round.
Yeah,
it's probably not where I'll start looking.
No, I'm just trying to wind you up. Matty Hinge would be a huge pod because Mitchell Hinge is in form. I don't know who Matty Hinge is, but if you have a Matty Hinge card, massive pod. Massive
huge
pod.
The biggest of all pods. Let's get into Geelong Essendon. This is a bit of a tasty game. You have loaded up here, so I might let you kick it off with big number 7, my boy from Gather Round.
Your other one, your other guy you touched.
Boys.
I shouldn't say it like that. Zachy Merritt. I love watching this guy play. He is fantastic at football. And yeah, obviously you think so as well. You've gone to Silver. I just really like the matchup. The Cats looked awful. Sorry, Auntie Booger. They looked awful. And maybe it's the worst I've seen the Cats play. I think that we would have been hearing about it a lot more during this week hadn't Port played worse the next day. But I do think the Cats midfield still continue to just bleed points to the midfield.
Yeah.
I've gone a platinum Merit, and I'm huge on it. And I actually love it because do you know what I'm actually stuck on?
Hit me.
And the thing that I reckon the change I will make, but I just cannot find a way to get this guy into my squad. I also want to play Nick Martin because I love the matchup that much. So I'm doubling, like if I could bring him in, that's part of the reason why I've gone the platinum as well.
That's
I just
tough.
love it.
I don't know.
If I did not have a prize card Connor Rosie, it would be done like that. That would be the swap. But
So
I
you're
can't.
saying the last midfielder, in theory, that you selected was Rosie, so he would be the first to go if you didn't have a prize card.
It's very hard
Okay.
to drop the prize card,
True.
and because I do love Connor, but I could also drop him to make a statement. I don't know if him or the club would feel it, but yeah, I love that matchup midfield. That's why I've gone.
Yeah,
there, so.
Nick Martin though, DC's got a great point. Did spend more time up forward last game. Kicked some goals though.
Well,
It's pretty
everyone's kicking
dangerous in
goals.
front of him,
Everyone's
so-
kicking goals against Geelong, so I wouldn't mind him kicking a few goals as well.
Yeah, well, I think for me, Merritt, Caldwell, it's a really good matchup for mids, surprisingly. Although the Cats, have been really good, their midfield traditionally has been fantastic. This just isn't their year. I think they give up the second most amount of points to teams in the midfield. So
Yeah, and I know Auntie Booger's talking about her Cats there. She says our graph looks good. That means that's how many points everyone's scoring on average against your midfield.
against you, yeah.
So you can actually see they score rucks as well. So maybe this is the Draper week as
Goldstein?
the pod. Goldstein's. I forgot he's in there, isn't he? I was going to say Northstock played. Goldstein at Eston will never not be weird. Give me your weirdest player, like your Sam Mitchell at West Coast, your Goldstein at Essendon. Give me your weirdest one where a player left the club right at the end. Luke Hodge at the Lions. Geez, there'd be a few good ones. Send them through.
Gosh, what would be one for me? Lewis Jetta at West Coast.
What? When?
Like right towards the tail
Yeah.
end of his career. When he left the Swans and having to see him play against us, that was strange.
Yeah.
We're in a different Guernsey.
Ben Cousins in Richmond.
Yeah. There's some good ones.
Pavola at the Lions. Wow.
Fev at the Lions is madness, actually.
That was the Twin Towers, the original.
But yeah, look, so there is some weather concerns, which has been pointed out in the chat. But look, if it's hopefully it's dry. And look, these players, they've got really good upside, good matchups, and the numbers are indicating that they should have a pretty nice day. And Caldwell coming off a monstrous game, spending time in the mid. So, you've got to start him in the forward line. I think it's just worth it.
Yeah, I've gone Caldwell as well. He actually is one of the most informed mids at the moment as well. So, yeah, 101 is his last 5, but I know he's had a couple of good weeks off the back of that. Finn McGuinness said Mel Michael at Essendon. I don't even remember that. I do remember him kicking the behind from like 30 metres out. That was all time. If Brisbane was a footballing state, people would still be talking about it up
People
here,
would still talk about it. Yeah.
There was probably no one there to watch it, unfortunately.
Or fortunately, it depends on your point of view.
Yeah,
right?
Depends. Anyone else you want to talk about in here? No, pretty much moving on.
Nah, not really. Yeah, actually.
Oh, Myers.
Myers and Parrish.
Not Parrish. Let's talk about Myers because Myers has been a lock for a lot of people. Not a lock. That's not the right word to say it. He's been in and around squads.
True.
All season.
Had a great game
We've
last
not
game.
gone either.
He finally hit the scoreboard as well. I think he kicked 2-1 in front of goal. Got more involved. I just haven't liked Myers because every time I watch him, he'll just have 5 really good minutes, and then the next 15 he won't touch the footy. Obviously last week wasn't one of those games. He was playing fantastic, but I'm a little bit concerned. Yeah, just I looked at him. Was it after round 4 or 5? I set and forget almost in my forward line, and I was like, I can't see a bad matchup for Myers moving forward. But yeah, things do change, unfortunately. But Myers is one of the ones, in my eyes, he'll either make your squad this week or he'll break it. You'll either come out of this game being like Brian Myers, you absolute king, ain't got a Messi, or you're gonna be like, what did I do? What have I done?
Yeah, I'm looking at his rounds 115, 70, but 70, 52, 65.
Yeah. Goodness.
So I don't know.
And I think I started in the 2 of those rounds as well. So
maybe the reason I'm looking at it is geez, I'm looking at all his scores together. Maybe the reason I wasn't doing so well is I was playing him when I shouldn't have been. Maybe I was thinking Myers was doing a lot better than he actually was.
Yeah, you were still on the transfer market segment I had from weeks prior.
Yeah.
Had to let it go. But no, I think we've wrapped it. And Parrish, like, who's playing Parrish at the moment? Parrish was a guy last year, just funnily enough, because we're talking about him.
Yeah.
I would start him over Merritt. I would always favour Parrish. I was like one of those people.
Because he had one good Anzac Day game where he had 50,
Not
50
one good
handballs,
game.
and
He
you're
had
like,
multiple
that's my
good
guy.
games. But I just always saw the upside in Parrish rather than Merritt. And this, I've done a complete 180 this year.
You're on the Merritt train.
I haven't started Parrish one time.
Because you got to meet Merritt. That's different. If you met Parrish at Gather Round, you'd probably feel
Still
the
mention.
same. I'm just realizing now, I got so excited talking about Merritt. You're not actually playing Ridley.
I'm not.
Why? He's in pretty good form.
He's in great form.
Yeah. Now, let me bring this up. 122 over his last 5 weeks. You're just seeing something that maybe the rest of us aren't. He has dropped off a little bit.
I just think when it's those, when we're talking about Essendon, it's, for me, it's like Nick Martin or it's Ridley. I know Nick Martin's playing more time on the forward line, so maybe this actually opens it up for Ridley, which could be a mistake from my end here, maybe an undersight in the matchup. But like, I just don't think both are going to play well, and I think Nick Martin nearly made my mids this round. I think he's in for a good week.
Ridley's lowest score this season is 107.
It's pretty tasty.
4 weeks. I think you're making a blunder there, but
okay. I don't think I've had a bad defender in the list yet.
I was going to say that's a me error, and maybe the tides have turned. The second half of the season, you watch me claw you back, and I've got receipts. So
you have nothing. He's got Norton.
He's got Norton.
Alrighty, let's move it on.
Oh no,
Game 7. Yeah. Game 7. We've got 3 more games, so let's power through this. Cal. We've got the Saints versus your Port Power.
Was that intended? Or you just
what? Power through this?
Yeah,
it was a good one. So natural. Connor Rosie, you've touched on him. So you're just not loving it, but you feel like your hand's being forced here. Is that the vibe I'm getting?
Yeah, don't play Connor Rosie. Don't do it. He hasn't been in great form. If I didn't have a prize card, I probably wouldn't be playing it. But you do get a slight little advantage there with the prize card. And where I'm at with the season, I'm kind of like, if I play him and he goes well, then that's a big tick for me that no one else is going to be having.
Yeah.
So I should do it.
Okay.
But now I'm sitting here, and I think there's only been once all season I haven't played him when I could have, when he hasn't been injured. I think I even played him the round he had a torn hamstring.
Exactly. I was going to say, if you can play him with a torn hammy, surely he's healthy now. You can get him in.
Yeah, but I don't trust him. I actually still might swap Martin out. It might be me maturing as a fantasy player and doing what we tell people to do. Go for the matchups. Go for the best players, not the rarity of cards that you have. So I might mature by Sunday and actually get him out of my squad. But
hopefully, for my instance, you do not. Dan Houston's looking like he could be in for a monster round this round. We've seen him go bonkers in a couple. This matchup is looking very good.
I reckon
number 1.
I reckon coaches should just not play any Port players this week. Join our protest. Because we're not allowed to boo. So maybe this is what we need to do. Just not play any Port players.
Fair enough.
No, Houston's good. Like I said before, I don't have a bronze. If you have a bronze, hit me up. I'd be playing the bronze if I had it. I don't really want to play a silver, but he has been in such good form.
Yeah. Do you know what else is a good matchup? The ruck matchup against Port Power.
Yeah, Marshall. It's a slam dunk this week. And
Rowan Marshall is going to eat your team alive, respectfully.
Yeah.
And I needed to it took me a lot of courage to say this and to put Marshall in my squad. You know how against it I am. But
how many times have you done that this year?
Once. This is it.
And this guy is clearly the second ruckman in average for the season, and you're only playing him twice, yet you're somehow still within a chance of top 10.
Yes.
Wowee.
That's why I'm the GOAT.
Wowee. He's going to absolutely feast. Port, I don't know who our ruckman's going to be.
This is a lesson I'm teaching English, by the way. I'm going to make him feel like I've given up on him, and then he's going to bounce straight back, and my all-stars back.
Yeah, no, I don't see that happening.
It's reverse psychology.
Yeah, I wouldn't be dropping Marshall this week. I'd be dropping Gorn before I drop Marshall, just with how much I think he's going to eat. We had a comment there from Distinct saying, I don't trust Rosie or Butters. Yeah, I don't trust Butters either. He has been in good form, but No, I still wouldn't be doing it.
Don't like
I'd
it?
be staying clear of Port as much as you can because you don't know what's going to happen. In all seriousness, you don't know what's going to happen. St Kilda, can you make the case for someone else? Jack Steele, Sinclair, Wanganeen Miller, none of them are involved this week.
I really ummed and ahed about Wanganeen Miller, in all honesty. You know what my relationship's like with him and Jack Sinclair. I can't pick the better player for the life of me. I'm actually 0-7 this year. Every time I choose one and the other, I always get it wrong. So I've opted for none this round. So watch them both go for 140.
Yeah.
But I just matchup wise, I'm not loving it, in all honesty. The numbers definitely indicate.
And Port still are one of the hardest to score against in defence and as a midfield as well. So I can see the case for not doing it. But this is a different Port side.
For sure.
But I think that's pretty much everyone.
Let's do it. I know you're a bit depressed about that. Let's move on, hey?
That's sad.
Let's talk about the Tigers versus the Carlton Blues, who Carlton are finally coming into some form. They're looking fantastic.
Finally coming into some form.
Well, I think the expectation at the start of the season. You know what Carlton fans are like, though.
Yeah, my parents both Carlton fans.
Yeah, exactly. They'll have the greatest first half of all time and then have a blunder of a second half, and you're thinking, did the same people just walk out and play in this half?
Dad wants to already book flights. My partner's a Swans fan, so they want to book flights already together. That's going to be fun.
They want to watch the Swans smash them at the G.
Interesting. I won't be going anywhere near that. But they've got a pretty good matchup against Richmond this week.
There's not one category where you look at Richmond and you're like, it's not positive in terms of like the numbers and what they're saying. So Richmond rank as the second worst, third worst, first, or like best, sorry. And then the 10th options for fantasy points given up per game. So 2, 3, 1, and 10.
And this is another one I don't feel good about. I actually feel like, again, head to head, I'd take Whitfield over Newman.
You've got
most weeks.
Walsh. I didn't actually notice that until just now.
We'll get to him in a second. But I've taken the Newman. I don't love, but the matchup here this week.
The matchup screams yes.
Yeah. So I'm like, I'm gonna give
I
it
did
a miss.
The same when I looked at the figures. I was like, look, Newman, but I can't look at this number and think like,
yeah. So that's probably one. Who's the other one we got? I've gone Harry Mackay. I'll touch on that, and then we can talk about how good Sammy Walsh is.
For sure. I think Harry Mackay's safe. I don't understand why he did it. I just personally haven't.
Yeah, I'd prefer to pay him over Kerno. I know a few people sort of ask us, who would you rather play out of those two? I do like Mackay because I do think he has a bit of a better floor, but I don't think he's kicked a bag in quite a while. So
he had 3 last week.
He had 3. Yeah, 3's not a bag, is it? 5.
It's pretty good.
5's a bag.
Yeah, well, that's like Charlie.
I think a bag is 5.
Okay.
4.5.
So what's Armadi then?
Like a party. Yeah,
nice.
Big time party. So I think Richmond aren't the team that they were a couple of months ago when they were just getting absolutely smacked by everyone. I think they're a bit harder, but I do think Carlton is on a different level, and I do think Mackay is going to be the guy.
You want a smoky from me?
Yeah, hit me.
Tim Taranto.
Yeah, talk to me about it.
Great form. Just the matchup. Carlton mids, pretty tough to play against traditionally. You got Walsh, Cripper. They love to win the inside ball, but man, Taranto has come back and he's on absolute fire. It was really hard for me to not have Taranto in. And if I was to sub out, it would be Noah Anderson for Tim Taranto direct swap. So if I am to do the Hezzy, pull the old Hezzy and change it up, that's exactly the swap I would make.
And I'm looking there. So Carlton about a middle of the road team for conceding points for mids. So it's not like that's a terrible matchup to play him against. So there's, is anyone else going Taranto this week? His form, you said before the bye, 124, 146. Geez, now I'm talking myself into it.
He's tough, eh?
Someone make the case for Taranto. You make a good enough case for Taranto, I'll give you a lock for the pack we open later. We'll pick one out. So, but while you guys do that, I'll talk about Sammy Walsh. I've gone a platinum for the opposite reason. I still think that, it's going to be really, really good for him in the midfield. I'd love for him to kick it a little bit more. He does love a handball, but Sam Walsh has been awesome. So, you're talking about my salary cap before. I doubled down on my big guys, my Merritts, my Gorns, my Walsh, and I backed the talent in. And it's been working the last few weeks. Didn't work for the first 13, but it's worked for the last 3.
But it had to work eventually, right? It's a numbers game at some point.
It is a numbers game, yeah.
Quite literally, I think. The whole premise of fantasy is the numbers game. But
yes. Yes.
Nice. Is this classic? Yeah, no, these are for our classic squads. We'll give you a quick overview at the end. I think we got a screenshot nice and prepared so you can see it in its entirety. But yeah, we just wanted to go game by game, give you the best analysis we could, talk you through our thought process. But I think we sort of covered the fantasy relevant players. Tim Taranto, bit of a risk, but could be a massive reward, in my opinion. So that's why I wanted to bring up the name, because I think, there are going to be some squads this round that do roll out Taranto. They're going to look at that form. They're going to think it doesn't matter. He could explode, and I want every part of that. So,
no, I can see it.
yeah.
You said we have our slides prepared and we've got our squads ready to share. I do not. So that's what I'm doing here at the moment. So let me just get that up. Has anyone made the case for Taranto?
No, but Desing says, I like this format a lot. Thank you. No, I think this is how we want to roll moving forward, and especially when we're doing the post as well, wrap up the round. We want to talk game by game. We just thought we know all this stuff and we're just not giving enough. So, Auntie Booger, thank you as well. Loving the game by game. We're going to keep it rolling for you, hey?
Let us know what you think of the time as well. So we're trying to include, we know we've got a big audience over there in Western Australia as well. So we don't mind staying up a little bit late.
Game
doing it.
9. You've added that throughout, sure.
I have. That's for you, Finn.
Finn McGuinness.
Finn's back in the squad. Congrats, mate. Send us a signed jersey and I'll keep you in there for the rest of the season. We've gone completely different here.
We have.
And it's a bit of a wild card game. I'm not going to lie. This was one I was like, oh, what's the narrative behind here? What do I think's going to happen?
Okay.
I don't know. West Coast at home, I could see them winning this, but Hawthorn have been one of the best teams in the comp over the last couple of months.
Well, they got their king back. The king of the West Coast, Harley Reid, is back and playing, which is beautiful to see. He's so electric. But I do think Hawthorn are in just as good form. I wouldn't count out Hawthorn. They've been really surprising, I think, a lot of people this year, because people, I don't think, quite expected them to be playing this hot. So how good?
And I'm just loving this. I'm giving that double bang Mike Breen style.
Nice.
Big time.
Like Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
Against the Pacers. But Dylan Moore, like you look at the forward matchup, West Coast are the best forward matchup to have. But I'm not too concerned about the forward matchup. I'm more concerned about that mid forward, where he sits in that range. They're also the 5th best midfield to go up against in regards to fantasy points. So I was looking at this in more of the mid side of things, because I think Dylan Moore will push up the ground. He's going to be that connecting player. And again, if he can get on the scoreboard, he's had like that 150 explosion a couple rounds ago. So we've seen it. He's looking a lot healthier than the start of the year. I know he was battling pretty nasty illness.
Yeah,
so.
did he make? No, he just fell short of All-Star last year.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
but he was literally
close.
the 7th or the 8th player.
Yeah,
no, we only did 6, didn't we?
We only had we would have done a bench.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I remember him just missed out, but yeah, he's good.
In a tough year though, when we had Rosie, Butters, Goulden, Taranto,
Dunkley,
Cogs,
Dogley. Wow,
look, it's
the golden era of game day squad.
The golden era of forwards.
Only 12 months ago.
Had a mighty fall.
Yeah.
No Liam Duggan.
Which shout out to everyone always has a think. Be thinking about next year. Have a think about those player moves. Try to figure out who is going to be someone who's maybe running around in the midfield at the moment as a forward next year, because if you can start picking them up now, it's going to make your February a lot easier.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Talk to me. No Duggan. Duggan's someone we've mentioned a lot this season. I'm the same, though, so don't get me wrong.
I don't mind using these live shows to try and make trades.
Oh, gosh. Here we go.
So, I still want a bronze Houston. I don't know if anyone's messaged me. I haven't checked, but still hit me up for that. The other one I want is Duggan. I don't have a bronze Duggan, and I've been searching for this one as well.
I have one.
You want? Yeah.
It's going to cost you a lot.
I bet it will. So I actually, that is a move I would make right now. Yo out, Duggan in. And Yo's been okay. He's been averaging 107 across the last 5 rounds. Duggan's 114. So it's just the easy, why would you not play Duggan?
Yeah.
I like him a bit more chippies out the back, for, cheap stuff. So he'd be the one I'd be playing. I want to talk about Waterman, though.
Can I just quickly make a public apology?
Yeah, go on.
To D-Sync, who bought a bunch of Riolis because Tom said he was going to be good this year. I am so sorry. I don't know what's happening with Dan Rioli. He's now recently engaged, so congratulations to him. But I think it's right about now where he needs to focus back on footy. Clearly, his mind has been elsewhere. He's secured his partner forever, but now it's time for footy. I need to see him putting up bigger scores because I am also bought up in all the Rioli stocks. So don't worry, you're not alone. My bad.
That is awesome. Desync, you have just earned yourself a card because that's incredible. So, yeah, remember, we've still got a few away. And like we said, there was a legend pack last night on the live show for the Rugby League. We're going back to back tonight. So, great comment. Waterman, I think West Coast could win. I think Waterman could go huge. I think he's been so good. I think he might now be one of, outside of Rowbottom, who I'll always love, I think Waterman might be my second favourite player to watch in the comp.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a big call.
Yeah. I just love the way he goes about it. I'm really enjoying it. So I actively want to sit down on Sunday afternoon, go for him, and then jump on the podcast straight away, which we're going to be doing. Now you're back in the country. What we're going to do as soon as the games finish, we're going to be straight back on here, going game by game, just like this,
Nice.
recapping. So please make sure you let us know where we've got it right and where we've got it wrong, because the receipts will be scattered everywhere. But I want to sit down Sunday night and watch Waterman play. So a little bit of narrative.
Not worried
for that
about
one.
Sicily.
Not worried about Sicily, no.
As in like
hitting
or
someone,
destroying,
kicking.
Waterman.
No, I'm not.
They could be a direct matchup, and it probably will be that, just size wise.
What about Finn McGuinness goes to Waterman?
Finn McGuinness, tag Waterman out of the game. I love it.
Yeah. Anyone else you want to talk about there?
Finn, what is your matchup for this game? Who are they sending you out on? That's what I want to know. Avoid at all costs.
Do you want to talk about Sicily?
Yeah, well, he's not in my squad.
No.
He is in my classic though. Sorry, not classic, starter.
Okay, yeah.
You know how just depth wise, I set up my classic team first, and then I go to my starter, and I sort of just will pick some high upside players or good players in the past. So Sicily fell into that range for me, and I'll be putting him on my bench. But yeah, look, he's been good. He hasn't been great this season. He's coming off a pretty good game though.
Yeah, before the bye, he had 167. So 15 marks though. Do you reckon he's going to get 15 marks?
No, and the biggest difference from 2023 to 2024 is kick-ins for Sicily. Sicily was doing the Luke Ryan special last year and was getting so many kick-ins, but this year he's not leading the kick-ins for Hawthorn, and it just hurts that score just that little bit, and enough to actually make a difference. That's for sure. So Sicily's not having a bad year, but it definitely, if he took those kick-ins again, could elevate him to another tier of defender for the season.
You're right. He's taken about 2 kick-ins a game, but
compared to 7 or 8 last year?
Yeah.
It felt like it some games, like goodness.
Well, because Hawthorn are more competitive now. They're not getting scored as against. But I'm just looking here. Sicily has played on every single kick-in this year. So when he does get them,
he knows what he's doing.
He's milking it. He's making every single one of them count. He's going to tell Harley Reid. There you go. Can I just talk about someone as well? Carl Amon, sneaky the best in-form midfielder in this game. Is anyone going to play him?
No.
No.
No chance.
No chance? Is anyone going to be bold?
Maybe a starter competition pod.
He's someone.
I wouldn't be taking this punt in classic.
You know what? I would not in classic.
Whatever your main league is, by the way. I'm just saying classic because my main league is classic and I'm going to stick to it. But if you have a main one, I wouldn't be playing that type of pod there.
No, I think
that's like
Amon's the sort of person you roll out in the champion when you're rolling out a platinum. And
yeah.
You're like, you know what? I can't play with some of the big boys.
I don't even play in the champion.
And I hope everyone, if you've got the cards, get your squads in because you never know what's going to happen.
True.
And you never know when Amon could be the highest scoring player in the week and outperform Errol Goulden.
Nah, that might happen.
It's not going to happen. But it might. It might.
It's possible. Technically, it's possible.
Yeah.
But yeah, be a good game to finish it off. Dillmore, this will be big because you got the 2-1 here. So we'll sort of have a good feel for how our matchup's looking heading into this one. And then it could either be you're hunting a lot or I'm in a bit of a hole and it could be night for me.
Yeah, well, it could be. It could make for an exciting one. I would love to go 4-0 on Sunday. That would start off the work week Monday morning. Fantastic.
Nice. Cal, let's get into our quick wrap-up. Show everyone our squads.
This is a bit of a stitch-up considering I'm 3-0 over the last 30 weeks.
Yeah,
that was fair enough when you'd left the country and you were 12 and 1.
Yeah.
Not so much now. Come
I
on.
was in the USA. You can't. You're taking
This is
charity wins.
This is like when Klay Thompson was disrespectful to LeBron.
I was
and then
raising
LeBron came
Banner
back
18.
3-1.
I was raising a championship.
It's a bit disrespectful.
You wouldn't know about championships, would you? Cal, here's your squad. We went through it before, but just so you can have a look at it all pieced together, how beautiful it is. There it is.
It's a good squad. Like I said, I would like to move Houston down to a bronze, so hit me up. And I would like to move. I'd probably put that cap. I'd probably throw it on Goulden, to be honest. I've got a Goulden platinum. I'd go silver into the platinum Goulden. Is what I'd look to do, and then I'll try and swap out Yo for a Duggan between now and Sunday's game. So also,
Nice.
Please
Don't hit him up.
Hit me up.
Just don't do it. Here we go. This is me. I put some questions in, but we sort of spoke about it on the way through. Benching Luke Ryan for the first time this season. Is Sexton going to be worth the risk at forward? And biggest L for English gang
We didn't talk about Sexton
all time.
Did we talk about Sexton?
Yeah, I think we spoke about Sexton.
Geez, the new format's throwing me off. But yeah,
maybe we didn't. Gosh, I feel like we did.
I'd be very nervous. Will Powell's come back in. I don't think you'd be playing the risk. I think
which is tough because he's been a pillar to lean on for the past couple weeks. So it's really tough to let go of Sexton in that role. But yeah, look, he's coming off the bench. So that sometimes doesn't mean anything though.
Shout out to our Discord for spooking me and saying that, someone's like, he's going to be the sub. And then 2 people did the shush emoji underneath it. And then I was like, am I missing something here? So well done. Well done. If that was you, you got me.
Got him.
Got me. But hey, probably worked out for the best.
It did. Let's go.
All right, I'll go first. D-Sync, I've got you for that awesome comment. While you're loading this up, Finn McGuinness wants to know, how was Boston, Tom? The lobster rolls.
Mate, Boston was great. There were plenty of rings, the championships, Banner 18. I'll be honest with you, I'm not a big seafood person. I didn't actually indulge in the lobster rolls, but I had my fair share of wangs. I had some great food, bro. Americans, they do it. They're different over there, bro. Their food. I probably put on a couple kgs. You can probably see it in my face, but mate, I'm happy to be back though because they drink light beer. I'm not exactly a massive fan.
Hey, you drink whatever you're given if you win a championship. I would drink.
That's true.
Whatever.
I want some comments though. Left right now. I haven't selected who I want to go yet for a pack. Well, any new faces around? Any new coaches? Anyone need some upgrades? Let me know. That's what I'm here for.
Yeah. My favorite part of when Tom getting back was him showing me all the confetti he picked up off the floor of the championship they won. So
yeah, I got confetti.
I don't know what you're going to do with the confetti.
Got the jersey signed. I got, mate, it was a trip of a lifetime. I'm so blessed.
All right, let's give someone a pack of a lifetime. Now, no hovering over it. No cheating, right? I want you to open it up so when we get the legend, I want you to actually have to give it away without knowing that it's the legend.
No, we always got to hover.
No, not hover. I'm going to do this blind. So go start on the left. We're going to go left to right. D-Sync, you're in. Oh,
Guinea.
I do like Guinea.
He's like really light. Coors Light, Bud Light.
You know what? I'm going to take the gold Guinea.
Budweiser.
I'm going to take the gold Guinea.
Alrighty. Sorry, you said you're going to go. Oh,
D-Sync, you've just got yourself a Timmy T. Let me know.
Timmy.
Is he going straight into your squad? Is this the sign you needed to play Timmy T? You might already be playing him.
Transfer market for a cent?
Jelly. Bad jelly.
Bad jelly.
Bad jelly.
Not good jelly.
That's good. That worked out well. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. Who are you picking out? Who are you giving your legend card to?
Oh, who am I giving my legend card to? I reckon Finn. Finn probably deserves it. He asked me how Boston was.
He did.
Yeah,
soft spot. Knew the way to your heart.
I literally got back this morning, by the way. So, yeah, it's good to be back. Jet lag is still hitting, so I cannot wait to hit the hay after this. But let's talk about this pack and the juice that's in there. There's at least a platinum.
Clark.
Transfer market. Thank you.
Oh.
I will keep O'Keefe.
Maybe that's your pod ruckman for the week. Maybe you should play O'Keefe.
And I'm going to give away this platinum right here.
Oh, there we go. The person he's going to tag on the weekend. So, question to Finn McGuinness. Are you going to play the platinum Harley Reid?
He will not play platinum Harley Reid when he's tagging him.
Yeah, I tell you what, Harley Reid platinum. I know you just said platinum Sheasel coming. You know what? That's probably I'd probably take Sheasel still, but
I'd take a Sheasel over
pretty
Reed, but
good
Dynasty card, this could be one
we
of the
give away
best.
some bad cards.
I don't even have a Harley Reid. This is a bit upsetting, just a little bit.
This might be the best card giveaway we've given.
Done,
They're consecutive. Timmy Taranto into Harley Reid.
Timmy T into Platt Harley Reid. Meant to be. I'm already all over it. That's good. That is good. Alrighty, Cal. Are you ready? I think I'm ready for the round.
I'm ready.
I can't wait for round 16. It's going to be weird. Friday night footy. Just a little bit strange.
At the Gabba, I've got free tickets to go, and I don't want to go because I hate going to the Gabba.
Oh,
I know.
Really?
You've gone. Gabba's not fun.
It's not. Yeah, look, if Demons are at full strength, you'd probably be a bit more excited about it.
Yeah. You know what? I might just go cheer on Gorn, but it's not a fun ground to go.
And just to put it out there, if you're not ready, if you've got any last-second questions, anything you want to ask, now's the time to do it just before we sign off. So definitely get it in the chat. We'll let you know any last comments. But I'm keen on a good round of footy. No bias this week. Definitely helped with making my squad. Although I still struggled a little bit because there was almost too many options.
Yeah, but then you get down to like your 5th and 6th, and you're like, geez, what am I going to do here? I actually thought this was a pretty good round. Like I said, I still am nervous about a few people because whereas before you were trying to pick between people you weren't sure on, now I'm leaving someone out like Nick Martin.
I didn't like triple guess myself too many times.
Well, I don't know, like Nick Martin. Like I feel worse about leaving Nick Martin out than trying to like debate between Harry Mackay and Joe Danaher.
Got you. Yeah, fair enough. I get it.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Hope everyone enjoyed the new format of the show. Like we said, that's what we're going to attack here going forward on Thursday nights moving forward. And then hopefully something similar, but just in reverse and a bit of a recap on the Sundays. So yeah, if you are enjoying it, please let us know and we'll continue doing it. Anything else you want to see, definitely shoot us a message on the Discord. We're always happy to chat fantasy footy. And if you've got any suggestions as well, definitely drop them there because we want to hear your feedback, your input, because of course we're doing this for you. So hopefully this has gotten you, ready to go. You've thought about round 16 in a different light. We've given you the numbers. We've given you our point of view, our perspective, and hopefully you can walk away now and then not make as many mistakes. But I know I'll be bound to make a couple. I won't be. I'm in great form. Like I said, Rosie's already a mistake. If I'm not the hottest coach at the moment, I'm the second hottest informed coach at the moment in the Classic. Keep an eye for me this weekend. Your hot coach is like Carl Amon in that last game. Come on, it's a bit rude. 3-0. 3-0. All right. Well, looks like everyone's ready to rumble anyway, mate. So we might sign off. Thanks, Legends, for coming out to the show. And, we'll be here Sunday night. We'll wrap up round 16 and hopefully everything we just said comes to light. And it's just that easy. But we'll see. We'll see who gets the win and good luck for the round coaches.